Hello everyone, welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this one-hour tutorial, we're trying to build a very simple web application called Email Extractor that will be used to extract emails, phone numbers, and then links from a particular document or text, right? So in case I paste in this particular text here, which is very interesting text, I want to extract all the emails from this. I can just go with this. So I can extract the emails, the phone numbers, the URLs, and then HTTP URLs. So let's go with email, click on submit. Voila, so 111 emails. That's going to extract all these emails from this particular document. The same way, if I go back and then I paste in the same document, I want to extract all the phone numbers from it. I can just go with phone number, click on submit. Perfect. So it has extracted 19 telephone numbers in different formats, either dashes, dots, or spaces, right? Very interesting. Same way, in case I want to also work on links, I want to extract links, so I can just click on paste it here. Then click on the particular link, type whether it is HTTPS or HTTP. So HTTPS, click on submit. It has extracted in a very clean format without the extension, right? You can also add those ones there if you want to, but this is a format. So that's what we're trying to build in this particular tutorial. So now let's see how to work on it. So I'll just go to my folder. This is my folder. There's nothing here, so I'm just going to create my first backend file. To be app.py is going to be our backend. And then we create our front end, right? So our front end is going to be inside a folder. Let's create a folder called templates. So there's going to be templates, and then inside templates we're going to create our front end as index.html. Perfect. So that's it. So let's create our front end. So email extractor. It's not only for email, but let's call it as email extractor. Then that is the basic idea, right? So we'll be pasting in some bootstrap stuff here. So let me go to get bootstrap. So get bootstrap, and then I need to copy in the basic stuff, right? So we need to get the stuff there. Let's take some examples from this place. So perfect. I'll copy the CSS. So I'll paste in my CSS here. Then I also need to copy the JavaScript stuff, right? So JavaScript is here, copy. Hit the JavaScript to allow us to use the JavaScript. Perfect. And then jQuery. Now the next thing we need to do is to get some beautification at the front end. So let me copy the navbar here from, let's choose the Jumbotron to save time. New page source. So I'll copy this one from the navbar here. Copy it from the navbar here to the next navbar down here. So that's what I'll paste here. Now let's clear off this link. We don't need this one. The only thing we don't need this one too. So let's call this one as our home, and then this is going to be our about page. So we have very simple stuff now. So that's going to be our front end. Right, so the next thing we need to do is that we need to create a division for our form. So it's going to be class container. We need to create our form. So our form, the most important thing for the form is that it needs a method of post, and then an action is going to be the route to the particular stuff. So let's call it as process, which we will create later. Then the next thing we need is we need a test area to paste in our stuff. So the test area goes to have a name of Retest. That is where whatever you're going to be typing, they will be bound to this name Retest. Then let's set a columns of 5 and a row of 5. Right, so columns of 5, row of 5, class of form control. Okay, so we have that. We are done in the test area. We need to create some 2 buttons to allow us to work on it. So let's call it as quick, then button. The button is going to take a class of btn-primary, right? btn primary. Perfect. And then this is going to be for our clear. So since it's a clear, let's set the type as recent. Then we create another one for our submit button, right? So this is going to be for our submit button. So let's call this one as success. Then this is going to be our submit. Submit. Perfect. So you can add font awesome to it to make it interesting. So I'll paste it later, but let's go on straight away to submit. Let's save it. Perfect. So we have a simple basic form, right? Now the next thing we need to do is that we need to be able to create one for the route for the result. So let's go to div class container routes our results, right? Results. Perfect. So nice, we have been able to create our form here and our result. So we need to be able to create this particular process option here, right? We need to be able to create it. So let's go to our backend. Then from our backend, just create from Flask, import Flask. Then we need render templates to be able to render our file, and then we need our request if you'll be using request, and then URL for perfect. So let's first of all initialize our app. So app Flask, then name. Perfect. So the next thing we need to create our route. So if main, then app.run debug to get all the errors. So everything is going to be in between this, right? So that is how to do that. So this is going to be our initializing of the app, and then this is going to be our route, right? So let's create our first route. So the first route is going to be app. In Flask we use decorated, so it's going to be app.route, then create a function of index that takes no argument, then return render template to render our index.html file from our template file. So index.html. Perfect. So we have created our first route, so we need to create our second route for the process. So let's put it here, and let's call this one as process. It can be any name, you can call it extract or any name that you want. Process, but the process must take a method. So the method is going to go with that method. It can take a method of get and then post, right? Or it can only be of post. Any of them is going to work. Perfect. So now everything that we are going to be doing will be done here. So okay, let's see whether our app is working. So let me close off this Python app.py. Okay, so it's giving us this URL. So I'll copy this URL. I'll paste it here. Perfect. So we have some interesting stuff here. So we have here, see that it's working a nice way. Formula bar is working, and here we have our stuff here. So let me make it more beautiful by changing the name to email extractor. Let's put in some breaking points. Perfect. So you can refresh it. Now we have something interesting, right? So we have our play, our submit, and we have our home button, our search button. We can just take it out later. Now let's add the functionalities to this particular app. That when you type in something here, so whatever we're going to be typing here, we bound to this raw text here, right? That is the basic idea about this. So let's create that stuff here. We'll be using a simple method of if the request dot method is equal to post, right? If that is the case, then I want you to do whatever you want to do. So what do I want to do? Let's call it as choice. Let's go to request dot form. You create that one later. So let's call this one as our tax option. So we have to go and create this particular tax option. So I'll go back to my form here, then my form here. We also need to create another one for our dates. It's going to be for our select button. So let's create a simple select. Right, that's what we want to create. So creating a select button with options to be able to select them. So the first option is going to be value, just let's say email. Let's make it small e. the same thing we're going to create for the individual stuff, right? So we have email, phone number, slash http. Let's change this one. Small it. So perfect. We have created a simple option. So if I go back and I run it here, see that we have email, right? Phone number, URL, HTTPS. Right? So how do we allow it to accept this particular stuff? So I'm going to give it a name. The name here is what I'm going to call as a task option, right? So that everything that is going to be selected will be attached to this task option. Perfect. So that is it. So let me add a class to it. A class to make it beautiful. So form control, and then let's create one to give that something, right? So let's call it as option. Then let's call it as selected. Right, this is going to be our selected. So let's take off this. Then select task. I save it and I run it here. Voila, right? So we have our select task, email, phone number, URL, blah. So now whatever we're going to be selecting will then be submitted. Perfect. So we are done with our front end. Now let's go back to our back end. So we have our task option, right? The task option coming from here, right? Perfect. So now let's go on. So if the choice from the task option is particular stuff, right? So that is what we're going to do. If our choice is equal to email, then I want you to do something, right? Then I want you to do a particular stuff. So let's take the raw test. Then you're going to use the normal request.form / the raw test. This raw test is coming from here. It's coming from this raw testing, right? So that's storing a variable called raw test. So from here that I'm going to do everything I want to do. So at this point, I'm just going to give it the result. So results, and I'm going to apply my main function here, right? So let's create our main stuff. So for the register, I'm just going to import re for register. Then I'm going to create my email register. So my regular expression for email is going to be r.compile. Then I'll supply whatever thing I want to do. So r for the regular expression, I'll put inside here. So let's see a syntax of email. So the syntax for an email is that it's going to be like this. A normal basic email is, let's say JC1 @gmail. To create a regular expression, you need to get all words, right? That is before this @ sign, and then always that is after this sign, and then dot, right? So that's what you're going to do. Some emails may have numbers, some may have any other stuff. So the regular expression is going to be like this. It's going to be \word, right? So every word, right? So that is referring to the first aspect. Then we need to be able to add something to it. So anything can be one word, can be 2 words, 3 words, 4 words. So more words, right? More words. Then the @ means that this @ here, the @ we have here. Then I also repeat the same stuff that we had in the previous one. The same stuff here, because this is referring to words or points or dash. Perfect. So that is the basic idea about it, right? So now we are done with it. Then we move on to class. So that is a basic idea, basic sentence for it. So let me copy this one here. So that's going to be for our email, right? Our email. Now I have to apply this particular email. Function here. So to apply it is going to be quite simple. So email register dot find. So what are you doing? You are going to find all that match that particular pattern. So Retest. So the reason we are using compile, the compile is faster than using maybe match and then all of these things. That's what we are trying to do with this particular command. So the result that is going to come, then I'm going to find the number of the results. So number of results, our length of my results. So the next thing I have to do is I have to send that particular stuff here. So it's going to be our results. Let's go to results. Then our number of results going to be our number of results. So we have been able to do that. So now let's come back to our front end. Then inside our result here, we're going to create a for loop, right? So for loop in Ginger is going to be like this. As a function for I in my results. What do I want to do? I want you to bring I want to close this I. So this and for, right? This is how to do that in Ginger. Perfect. The reason is if it was if, right? This one was if to be and if, right? Perfect. So we are going to create something simple. Now let me put it inside. So let's try it and see whether it's going to work. So I'll refresh it. I hope that doesn't give us any error. So let's paste in some tests and see whether it's going to work. So I'll go back to the same test we have been using, our favorite test, and let's paste in something from here to check and see whether it's going to work. So if I paste in my test here, I click on the particular task which is email, submit. Wow, so that is working, right? So it has been able to bring all the emails the very perfect way. So that's the basic idea about it. So the basic idea is that you're just using the regular expression pattern to loop through whatever thing that we are receiving to get our result. Okay, so let's apply the same thing for our phone number and then URLs, right? So let's check for the phone number. So it's going to be phone, going to be our recompile. Then the basic idea for the phone number is that if you take a phone number like this, let's take a phone number, something like this, right? So if you want to fetch it, right, it's going to go with, for the regular expression, it's going to be like a number, it's going to be a digit. So a digit 1, another digit, right? That is the first pattern of the digit. Then we're going to take another one again of digit, right? Most telephone numbers are either 10 or 9, right? So that's another digit, dot, and then the next one is going to be the remaining one. So digit, right? So that is the basic idea. So that's what we're trying to use for creating our registers. Yes, you can do complicated ones, but this is quite simple. Let me copy this one and then let's use it for our number here, right? So now we have our phone number. So the same option that we had here is what we're going to be using. So I'll copy this one and then I'll paste it here, create another one for the next one, create another one for the next one. So if the email, this is if the choice is phone number, it's phone, then I want you to use not the regis format, but I want you to use the phone number, right? Regis, right? That's what we are using. Then the next one is going to be our URL. So URL HTTPS. So if that's the case, then we create another one for our URL HTTPS. URL. Nice. So we have been able to create something very simple, right? Very simple. So we are just using the normal if condition. So if this must be else if, simple stuff, right? You can bring an else too if you want, but let's move on. Okay, now so we have created one for phone number, one for email, and let's create one for the URL. So it's going to be URL regist with HTTP, and then it's going to go with re.compile. It's also in a different format. So let's say an URL like HTTPS slash according to that particular pattern. So the simplest way of matching this to this particular pattern is you can create it like this format. It can be an HTTPS, that's what we want, right? Then you're going to put in comma for any other thing that follows. Then this is the pattern. So www, just like we have here. See what I did. This is supposed it's supposed to be this. www dot, we are escaping the dot. That means that anything that is going to follow after, then you're going to follow everywhere. So let's say words, all words that can follow, backslash dot, then you can repeat the same thing, so plus any one or more words, right? So that's the basic idea behind it. So I think it's great. This one here, oh, I have to escape it, right? So that is how to do that. So you're just getting this pattern here, then anything that follows, any word that follows, right? Any words, the same thing with the dot, and then any words, right? That's the basic idea behind it. The same thing can be done for the next option, which is HTTP. right? So in that case, it's going to be HTTP. You can also combine them together. So that's the basic idea. It's quite very simple. Okay. Copy it and paste it. So let me comment this one out, and let's paste it here, right? Perfect. So we are cutting the same stuff here. Then let's do the same thing for. So I think that's how it's supposed to be, but this is supposed to be this, right? It's not supposed to be dot, it's supposed to be straight away slash, then the dot will follow after. Like that is how it's supposed to be. But the same thing for this one too. So that's the best way. This is the best method. So let's paste it here. For this one, let's put another one for our URL. So HTTPS, then HTTP URL. So let's comment this one out for clean code. So we have our Retest HTTPS and Retest for the normal one, right? So this must be no S. That is the basic idea. So let's try it and see. So we are bringing those things there, and then this one also here. So that's the basic idea about it. Now let's run our app. So back. Let's try it and see with some stuff that we have. Copy this one. Let's check it and see whether it's going to work. Okay, submit. Now let's select an email. Submit. Perfect. Has given us all the email. Now let's go back again to the same stuff we have. And here we could be selecting URL. Perfect. It's able to select it in a very nice format for us. That's the basic idea about how to build this particular app. So to create a refresh button, you can just go back to our HTML format, and then here, instead of going with this, we can just go with backslash to go back to this our index file. You can also use the same thing to create our refresh button. So in case we want to create a refresh button, so you can just use the same tab we have. So let's create a simple link above somewhere here, right above this. It's a normal ref. Then here you can just use URL for, or you can just use the backslash like that, right? Just like we did here, right? You can just use that particular backslash here to create our. Let's put as refresh. We'll bring it up so you can see it all. Then here we can just use a class. Let's go back here and refresh it. So we have the refresh button here. So if I click it, that's refreshed back to the initial one. Right? You can also use URL for it. Perfect. So that is the basic idea about it. Now let's add some beautification to our results here to make it better. Perfect. Right. So if I refresh it back again, now we have a result and a number of extract in a very simple way. Very interesting. So let's try our last one and see whether it's going to work. So I'll copy this entire stuff. Then let's try it and see the backslash. So this is our app. So if I go with particular stuff I want to select, so I want to select my HTTPS, submit. Voila, that's going to submit and keep us all the HTTPS or URL. Very interesting. Very simple. That's the basic idea about creating this particular. So the main idea is that you're going to create a form, right? This is the form, which is this particular form here, and then we're going to create a select option using a select with different values: email, phone, URL, HTTPS. Whoever select, when the person selects or chooses an option, it is bound to this task option. Then whatever is typed there is bound to our Retest, then sent to our backend to this particular route here, right? URL process here, which is this process with the method of post. Then if that option is email, use the regular expression for email. If it is phone, use it for phone, and so forth, right? They're going to send the result back perfectly. So this is the regular expression for email, for phone, for HTTPS, and for the normal HTTP. So you can create complex, sophisticated regular expressions to accept a lot of stuff. So thank you for watching this tutorial. In case you have any question or contribution, you can just put inside the comment section, and please check the links below for more interesting stuff. Stay blessed.